Hi, Ann here at Homestead Farm Center, and I've been reading about boats today and how they are designed to be able to float in different types of water. This illustration that you see on my tablet is called a Plimsoll line. The markings on the Plimsoll line tell engineers how much weight the boat can hold in different types of water. It makes a difference whether the boat is floating in fresh water or salt water, cold water or hot water. So we're going to do a little experiment today to see if we can see how that works exactly. So I have taken a sheet of aluminum foil and I have folded it into a boat shape, kind of a boat shape. And you can make any kind of boat that you want here, but you want one that has a pretty flat bottom because that will allow us to add some weight to it to see, how it floats in the different types of water. And I've also prepared two different tubs of water. One is fresh water and one is salt water. So we're going to try this to see how our boat floats in these two different types of water. We're going to try the salt water first. So I'm going to take my glass container here and actually let me put it up a little higher so that you can see it straight on. Something under it here. Okay, so that's a little bit better because you can see it straight. Okay, so we're going to fill this part way up with our salt water. Okay, and then we're going to add our boat. And as you can see, it floats quite easily in the salt water. Now we're going to add some weight to it. And we're going to count. The weights that we're going to use are just regular marbles. And we're going to count and see how many marbles we can put in the boat before it sinks. I'm going to put them in by fives. So there is 5 marbles. There's 10. 15. 20. 25. 30. Okay, so it couldn't quite hold 30 marbles. Okay, let me pour this out. Okay, I'm back. Okay, with our boat and our marbles. Now this is going to be the fresh water. So I put my fresh water in. Put my boat back in. Now you would expect that the fresh water could hold, again, maybe say 28 or 29 marbles. Let's see what happens. I'm going to again put them in by fives. There's 5. 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, oh, 23 marbles. So what happened? The boat could hold more in the salt water than it could in the fresh water. In other words, the boat floated more easily in the salt water than it did in the fresh water. And that is why the Plimsoll Line on boats has a designation here. Those letters on the sides, you can see that these on this side indicate different types and temperatures of salt water, and these indicate fresh water. The boat can be loaded down to this level if it's going to be floating in salt water, if it's going to be traveling in salt water. If it's going to be traveling in fresh water, say like on the Great Lakes, Great Lake Superior or Lake Michigan, it cannot be loaded as far down. And that is because the buoyant force on a boat, the force that pushes the boat up, keeps it floating in the water, is equal to the weight that is displaced by the boat. Now, which weighs more, fresh water or salt water? If the water has salt dissolved in it, it weighs more, and therefore the weight that's displaced by the boat weighs more, and therefore the buoyant force on the boat that lifts it up is more. And this is why, if you're a boat or if you're a person swimming in the ocean, it's much easier for you to float in salt water than it is in fresh water. So I hope you enjoyed that experiment about boats, and you can try this at home and make your own boat and float it and see what happens. Next week we're going to be talking about submarines. I hope you'll join us again. Bye now.